We're terrifically disappointed with a lost opportunity. Um, Defensively, Colorado, with the exception of 11 first half turnovers, basically did what they wanted to do. Our perimeter guys had a very difficult time staying in front of them, and I thought we could have competed better to be able to stay in front of them. And I thought our inside players at times let the ball go into the post a little too easily. And you know, when you give up 91 points, you just cannot be pleased with the defensive effort. I give Colorado credit; they're a really good offensive team. They got really good personnel. Um, but when you score 84, you should be able to win. Um, I thought that I thought the team was very prepared, and by virtue of our another really good start. Um, I thought we did some things in our pressure to disrupt Colorado, and the crowd was phenomenal. The crowd was great. Really grateful, really appreciate it. ESPN has never been here for a non-conference game at Auburn, and they came today, and that crowd really filled in, and the jungle was alive and well. And I don't know why people are complaining about college basketball in November. I mean, if you watch the upsets that have taken place tonight, you got Duke and Kentucky and Michigan State and Kansas, and I think this November start time is fine. Our students were phenomenal. I'm grateful. In the second half, when Colorado was in the bonus with 12 minutes to go, and gaining some momentum, made it very difficult for us to press and or try to turn them over. They turned it over 11 times in the first half, just 6 in the second half. I thought they showed much more composure than we did, 11 returning guys, and we panicked some when the game got in a crucial stretches late. That'll happen sometimes when you've got a lot of new pieces.
You guys lost a big lead against UAB as well. Do you see any kind of parallels between that performance?
A little bit, yeah. Late in the second half, we didn't close. If you do look at the lineup I had out there, it was pretty makeshift. We were kind of trying to keep. Tyler had 2 fouls, Sim had 2 fouls, Horace had 2 fouls. None of those guys were out there. But there would be a similarity to not holding on to that lead. And again, we shot 55% in the first half and scored 46 points. We should have had more than a 4-point lead. I was very, very disappointed in our defense.
Talk about the rebounding. Seemed to be an issue.
Well, I felt like if we could hold Colorado to 10 second chance points, we'd be okay. They got 13. I don't know that the offensive rebounding for Colorado was a big difference. The number a difference in rebounding of 8 is not a huge factor because, listen, when you miss 23 shots in the second half and they got a lot of those rebounds, a lot of it had to do with the fact that we didn't finish. They outscored us by 10 from the foul line in the second half, which was a huge difference in the outcome. And so there were times when I thought offensively we settled for jump shots and didn't take it to contact enough, and obviously that we didn't get to the line nearly as much as they did.
Do you believe you have a team that will grow defensively though here in these next few weeks?
I believe we can, because I believe there were times that we didn't compete in our closeouts and got caught, and against a lesser opponent you can get away with it because of length or because of help. I felt like our inside players, particularly Tyler and Devin and Horace, really did a pretty good job of covering up a lot of the challenges that our perimeter had. Tyler took a couple of charges, Devin took a charge, and filled some holes, but we were constantly having to fill holes. And we're going to play against better perimeter than Colorado. So I'm not happy with my perimeter defenders and how they let Colorado go and create space. Tyler Harris, double, first of his career. You could see how really terrific a player he is. He was the best player on the floor at times, And we know Josh Scott's going to be a pro. He's going to be a solid NBA player. And I thought that was a really good matchup, even though they didn't necessarily go against each other a lot. I think Tyler's ability to score around the basket, and he knocked down a three ball. Just pretty. That was his best game. Might have been one of the better games of his career.
Bruce, you seemed frustrated with Simeon a few times during the game. What was kind of getting to you about that?
Well, I wasn't frustrated with Sim. I mean, you can look at the stat sheet and understand that obviously we know Sim can play better, and he didn't play well, and I was just trying to get him fired up. I love Sim, and he takes coaching, and he just didn't have it tonight. Maybe the first to admit it, and yeah, it's hard to win when one of your best players, struggles like that. But I love Sim, and he'll get it back the next time.
Coach Tyler said that he thought that maybe the defense got a little conservative as far as Colorado getting into the lane and creating. Do you feel like that's an accurate way to describe it?
I wouldn't call their guards taking us off the bounce whenever they wanted conservative. I just think we just got beat off the bounce. And in the second half, when they're in bonus with 12 minutes to go, how aggressive would you like me to be? They were 16 for 19 from the free throw line. Perhaps we should have been more aggressive, and they could have been 26 for 29 from the foul line. I think aggressiveness had nothing to do with it. We didn't play well defensively. Please understand that. We did not. But it wasn't about being more aggressive.
How much of it has to do with it all? Just we constantly heard you reference how many newcomers you're welcoming into that, the youth.
Well, I mean, I think roles for sure. It was great to get Taj back. It was great to get Bryce Brown back. But without those two guys, some other guys were out there playing. So now the rotations are a little murky. You got to make some decisions with little information. But I'll make some decisions and probably shorten the rotation by one. I think the second thing would be just, like, for example, offensively, when I call something, am I calling it to get you a shot, or am I calling it to get you to the rim? And I thought we settled for jump shots way too often. And then we didn't make enough plays at the rim. And that's experience. But, I feel, obviously, when you lose by 30 a year ago and you lose by 7, you could see the progress that we're making. You could see the progress our program is making. And I'm pleased with our effort, but I know we can play better.
Your thoughts on Taj tonight, Bruce, and when you thought he might be able to go?
Great to get him back. He practiced Sunday for the first time. He wanted to play against UAB, but it was just a few days too soon, and I wouldn't let him play unless he got through a contact practice. And we had a contact practice on Sunday, and so therefore, as I said to you guys Monday, he's getting closer. And so once he did well on Sunday and Monday, we made the decision to go ahead and put him in the rotation. I thought he played 10 to 12 minutes. He played 15. So it's just good to get him back. He'll assert himself more and more now as we continue as he gets more reps.
You talk about perimeter defense, having him back out there. How much will that help that moving forward?
It'll help that some, and it'll also send a message to some of those guys that were out there that if they can't defend better, they won't be out there as much.
Bruce, are you surprised? I mean, in the press conference yesterday, you mentioned if we can limit them in transition, we should have a good chance. You guys limited them to 8 points. Are you surprised?
Yes.
You guys lose
Yes. Yeah, I am surprised. They didn't want to run with us. And I would say that, again, we talked about the fact that the other day I said if they looked at our post defense, Josh Scott would be licking his chops. I thought there were times we doubled him effectively, but that was more in front of our bench. I thought in the second half we didn't do as good a job down the other end. And I would say that if I would have limited Colorado to 8 fast break points and 13 second chance points, kept that number 20, I would have liked our chances. Our drop back defense really let us down. And our second half offensively, we didn't execute.
Everybody good?
Thank you guys.